Hello and welcome to Opposing Sides. I'm Sam, a Browns fan, and that's Matt, a Steelers fan. And today we're going to talk about money. And later on, we're going to talk about some of our team's new staff. So let's get into it. Matt, you have this amazing chart up from Spot Track. Gotta love Spot Track.
Yes. Our wonderful reverse pyramid of the Steelers' salary tree here. So I would say when it comes to money here, just right off the top, obviously TJ is going to be the most expensive hit for damn near everything. That and DK, just because they're the premium players that they've been getting paid here recently with. But I will say this guy right here, number 5, fifth highest paid on the team. I don't want to say he's in the top 10 of production, probably below that. But he's had linebackers that have literally done better than him when he was on the field, and he is not getting paid what he's playing up to. He's absolutely stealing money from us at this point.
Yeah,
So
and
I would
and
not be
he's
surprised to see him moving.
he is a former Raven Ratbird. Boo,
Uh,
Ratbirds.
Yuck! Ew! Ew! Throw up! Ew!
I could totally see him being a cap casualty for you guys. Looking at the dead cap, he's currently making 17.1 million, and his dead cap would only be 6 if you threw him to the side. 6.3. So I mean, you're saving half if you think that there is something you could do with that money. Um, this is his last year, so you know,
Well,
be it
and
as
that's
it
kind
may.
of that's where I'm at when it comes to him, is that this is his last year. I don't want to say that he's worthy of being cut because at this point, yes, there are people that could play better than him, but our linebacker room has had so many injuries and so much depth get ran through it, and we've had issues with that in the past too, where I don't think that they would remove him and then put Patrick or Peyton Wilson in there for like a green dot guy. He's all right, but I don't think that he is gonna. They'd be betting on him to take that next step if they removed Patrick Queen.
Yeah,
So
and
I don't see it happen.
I don't see it happening. I do think if the really came down to brass tacks, you could throw him off the boat. But it's not something that I'm like, oh, there he's gonna be gone. He's out of here. Like as much as I'm not a big fan of the Ravens, I think he has played okay for you guys, but definitely not $17.1 million worth of.
I mean, there's a reason why they paid Roquan and not him.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Tackle numbers matter, and that
right,
guy leads the league in tackle numbers.
right. So other than that, um, Hayward's probably going to be gone here in at least another year or two, roughly. Rogers. Um, we'll save this name for whenever we're about to head out of this segment because it'll segue into the next area.
Okay.
But um, where is our class here? Mr. Joey Porter Jr.
Yes, this is you and I have gone back and forth about him in private quite a lot, and he is one of those big names when it's coming to what needs re-signed for you guys.
Hmm. So Joey's there's no way that they let him walk. He's obviously going to get paid. It's just a matter of how much and where they're going to get that money from, realistically. So I think that most of it is probably going to come from either uh, Pittman or DK restructuring next year, just because I feel like they'll be on the team long enough to the point where they'll probably, the Steelers will ask them to do that. Or Hayward will retire after this year, and some of that money will eventually open up, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, right now he's really cheap for you guys. I mean, I love a good rookie contract. That he's $4.9 million right now for you guys. A lot of that's cash. A lot of that seems to
Right.
be like bonus stuff too. So really, you're in a good place with him right now. Next year is where it will probably get a little hazy. And you got more in this class, so I'll shut up.
Yes. So Honestly, he's the one that I'm the least worried about when it comes to re-signing for a reasonable amount. I think that Joey will be smart enough to know his worth for what he's done. He's proven it. He could be a number one guy. It is what it is. Put him over there and lock it up.
Yeah.
So that's fine. But some of the other people here in this class, Darnell Washington, you know my love for Mr. Mount Washington over here. Rough issue with it is that
He's hurt.
well, not even the fact of him being hurt, because you can come back from a broken bone in an arm.
Yeah.
That is what it is. But Pat Fryermuth is getting paid what 11? Yeah, 11.2. He's the eighth highest on the team. Does Mike McCarthy deem the offense worthy enough of running two tight ends that could possibly roughly get up to 10 million plus both? I don't know. I
Yeah.
think that's really going to get rattled out in camp once they start seeing who's going to be playing what position and where and what they can do in the actual offense.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of if he's going to run enough 12 personnel to support having those guys. Last year with Arthur Smith, they had enough money and interest in the running backs to where they wanted to give Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell the money.
Yeah.
So it was what it was. I would love to see Darnell Washington making at least 10 million. I don't know if they will. So
I
that
mean,
is what it is.
I'm gonna come back to him later, actually, in later on in my segment. But I mean, again, another guy who's pretty cheap for his production value. I mean, he was a crazy spark in your guys' offense last year, pre injury. I mean, my goodness, the trickery that this dude can run, and a dude who's supposed to, I mean, he's the size of an offensive lineman, and he should not be doing what he is doing, and I think he's probably deserved the money. But I'll get on that later.
So right underneath of him as well, we have Nick Herbig. Now, and this is just from reading the tea leaves and kind of going off of what his agent and those people are saying about him. But Nick Herbig signed with the same agent as a few of the other players on the Steelers, and he went on a podcast. The agent did, and used the quote, "Nick Herbig wants to retire a Steeler."
Uh-oh.
Those are pretty colorful words for a dude that's about to be looking for a new contract, regardless of whether he's going to play, whether he's going to be asking for more money, any of those things. The fact that his agent is let alone the one coming out and saying, this guy loves this place, he wants to stay here for his career. It's just a matter of if it'll get done.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little bit more positive. Especially given the opposite side where Keanu Benton is also signed with the same agent.
He passed me. He's right here.
Okay.
29.
I was gonna say he's buried down in here, but Keanu Benton, the agent had I don't want to say the same level of interest in him, but he had quoted saying that Benton was playing in the wrong position, essentially. Like just trying to, which they've been playing him at nose tackle. He has a really, really good history of being good in wrestling, so they wanted him to, get those hips and use that pop to kind of move people. But he's a little undersized, so he does play better at three technique, kind of how Javon Hargrave worked a little bit in the defense.
Yeah.
And they just have really put him in there, and I don't want to say screwed him, but they're asking him to do something that he's really not built to do.
Yeah, and it's hard if you're a small nose tackle. I mean, obviously, kind of those things do kind of go hand in hand sometimes, but
But I do like him.
yeah,
He's got great talent. But just so the fact that had even happened in the same conversation as the other guy being like, yeah, he wants to be here for his career, point blank, period. It kind of looks a particular way. Plus, we did just draft a massive D lineman this year, and we drafted two massive D linemen last year. It looks like Benton might be on his way out.
he might
He's
be on the
probably
chop.
not going to get another contract yet. which is sad, but it happens.
I
Other than that,
something I
I would
noticed. Oh, sorry.
say the Rogers thing's probably the biggest thing, contract wise.
Yeah. I'll bring up one thing before you get on to Aaron. Um, and it's that your guys' dead money is handled quite well this year, compared to my Cleveland Browns, who are in the fucking hole. To be honest, it's pretty bad. Uh,
Oh, well, it doesn't help you guys dig yourselves a hole a little bit each year.
yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you've got guys who are. I mean, the Minka money. I mean, it's kind of bound to happen, but it's not that much money. Hell, Johnny Smith is fucking up there on
Half
this.
of it.
Yeah, and after that,
When
it's
you're
it's
cutting
it's
Janu
peace.
and his cap hit is half of your Pro Bowl safety that you just cut, traded or whatever. Yeah, all right. You're doing all right.
Well, and the rest of this is all like point of a percent. I mean, it doesn't even add up. This is pennies, pennies
Right.
for the NFL. You have two contracts that are worth $1 million. I mean, I'll give Cameron Johnston his credit. That's practically $1 million thing. But like, you guys have
I mean,
your
he's
your
good enough, but
your
he was
cap
injured.
handled well. Do you want me to talk about mine before you finish off with Aaron, or do you want me to let you go about
Uh,
it?
I'll say what this Aaron contract is because it's really nothing special.
Yeah,
Um, Honestly, the whole point of this contract getting put on him is allowing the Steelers to say, "Hey, we want you to play here, but if you don't want to, cool, whatever."
yeah,
It's just a matter of, okay, he could go and retire and nothing would happen. We wouldn't have to worry about it. He could
yeah.
come back and he could play, and we get, you know, the three-headed machine of hopefully him teaching these guys to do what he's going to do, or whatever. Say he leaves and goes somewhere else, which I don't necessarily see. That's kind of the tea leaves of the contract situation, is the fact that them putting it on him says that there are possibilities that he could play somewhere else. He
Yeah.
might not play at all. He might play somewhere else. We don't know with Aaron, so we're going to slap it on it, and if he does play somewhere else, we're covered. So
And
it's just a little bit of a mystery, but
I mean, I think it's a
pretty much
cool.
all Aaron Rodgers does.
I think it's a cool, restricted free agent kind of thing.
Hmm.
A rare tag, as people were calling it, but it's kind of just to cover your guys' asses.
Yeah, those situations don't come up in the NFL a whole lot. It's kind of the same type of situation as somebody, retiring and then them having to do a trade, like the Marshawn Lynch trade, where they had to trade his contract rights to somewhere else so that he could come out of retirement and play.
Yeah.
Just stupid shit like that.
And I mean, it's not an expensive contract, $15 million. I mean,
Right.
it's not like this is some crazy quarterback wants 1 year, $35 million. So I gotta come to play here. Like, somebody
Right.
would
And
sign that as an idiot, but
with them putting that contract out there as well on that, it's basically them saying, "All right, Aaron, this is what you're gonna get.
yeah,
If you don't like that, cool. Go sit in your dark retreat and hang out. We're gonna ride with the two rooks."
yeah, and that's what you signed up for when you guys signed him. I mean, honestly, 43-year-old madman, but he's got a spark still somehow. My situation's a little bit bleaker than your guys's, I would say. Now, in total cap, we are not far off each other. You guys are sixth in total cap. $333 million.
We spend a lot of money. It's just a matter of where it's at.
We spent $2 more million than you guys. We are third in total cap. $335.2 million. We are in the hole at the moment. Now,
I like money.
I like money, and apparently Jimmy Haslam loves spending money on people he doesn't have on his team. We are fourth in dead cap at $73.7 million. Million
Does this
with an
include
M.
coaches paid as well?
I believe it does. I believe that does also count for Kevin Stefanski, but that it's not much more of a contract with Kevin.
Right.
Again, everybody's going to talk about it. Oh yeah, here's your money. Here's your money. 44.9 million at the top for a 31-year-old wide receiver, oh my gosh, quarterback who hasn't played to what you wanted.
Some people would call him a wide receiver.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what wide receiver came out of my brain. That one hurts. Obviously, it's the last year. It's the last year. You just got to get through it. Scrolling down a little
I was
bit.
gonna say you were kind of buried under that one as soon as you signed the contract when it came.
Yeah.
Like,
And you expected more, but I'm not going to dwell on that. Everybody's heard enough about it. We're not going to talk about Deshaun that much. Denzel, he's restructured his contract a couple times. I don't see much more being able to be restructured out of this. $30 million is what we're stuck at. 10% of our cap goes into Denzel's, pocket right now. Miles, 23.4, not bad for what it's worth. I mean, he's amazing. Love it. Love to see it.
he deserves it.
Now you got the dead cap. You've got these post June 1st designation releases here. David Njoku and Wyatt Teller. I mean, I love David Njoku. It looks like he might sign with the Chargers. He had a little work out there today, so we'll see if he becomes a Charger. I would be happy for him if he did.
Out there.
But we'll see. He's going up with Gasto or whatever. What was that guy's name?
Who?
The tight end in Los Angeles. I can't think of his name. Starts with the G. It's a weird name. The money, just giving them money for not being here. They're void year kind of levels of shit. Wyatt Teller, obviously, he needed to go. Never did what you really wanted him to. In and out. I mean, he was good, but he wasn't. He wasn't going to stay.
He was good back when you had him.
When we had him,
or when you got him
2 years ago. Yeah, this last year he was the rest of that offensive line of just nobody could do anything. Other than that, we're paying some good money for some good people up at the top here. There isn't a lot of moving room is my big problem. The only person you could possibly come off of is you could save 3.7, not even $3.6 million by letting Seti go. Cedric Tillman, love you as a Brown, great physical talent. You just might end up being the cap casualty guy. I mean, really, the money you save versus the money you lose really is not. It's kind of getting outweighed there. His dead cap is a puddle.
Well, in the wide receiver room, he's really the odd man out now.
I wouldn't quite say odd man out, but I would put him in that category of he's got a foot out the door. There's other guys I'll bring up later in that odd man out category. Or I can just talk about it right now. When it comes to guys in the Browns wide receiver room, there's a lot. And there's a lot of guys at the bottom that I really think might not even make the practice squad. You got guys you drafted like here, I'll bring up the depth chart here just so we have the.
I was gonna say, is there a way to swap that to the receiver list?
I don't know actually. Here, let me double check here. By position, wide receiver. Here we go.
Hanger.
So this is what I was gonna get at. Luke Floria, really interesting guy. God, my voice is cracking. Really interesting guy. Decent in the preseason. Had some catches in the preseason. Really didn't do anything in the main part of the season. I mean, he's paid the money whether he's here or not. It doesn't look like it's a cash thing, so it's a signing bonus, I think. It's hard to just say, wave the guy away. But I think he could.
Honestly, that might be the Jamari Thrash.
Might
be ended up getting that ticket.
That's what I'm gonna get at. Luke Faria, he might end up a practice squad guy. Isaiah Wooden probably isn't gonna keep on the team. Gage Larvidan, I can see him staying just for his return capability. Now, whether that is gonna get stolen by Casey Concepcion. It is to be decided yet. But I think the bottom 3 guys could be all gone. I would like to see them possibly keep Gage Larvidan over the other 2 guys that I've already listed, but I just don't see it being, 9 deep right now.
Mm-hmm.
So Isaiah Bond, dude, safe as can be. Love Isaiah Bond. Can't wait to see more of him. I would love to see more of the connection between him and Shedeur. Love Isaiah Bond. Can't wait to see it. Jamari Thrash, get that motherfucker out of here. I didn't like him when he was drafted. I never liked him in any preseason game I've ever seen him in. Jamari Trash can go and go on somebody else's practice squad. I don't even think he'll make the practice squad at this point.
Let him know.
I mean, he is on that same line as Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Those 2 never could make it work. He could never make it work, even when he was trying to be the main target in a smaller situation. Still couldn't make it happen. I don't like him. Get him out of here. Malachi Corley, though, you know what? I'll say it. I like Malachi Corley. I like him in jet sweep. I like him in those end-around situations in the kind of just... He's a gadget guy, and we talk about gadget guys quite a bit, I think, but I think he is a good gadget guy. He's got a lot of speed, and that's the thing that really does save him, is he's got really good acceleration and speed. I say I think he's safe. At least, if not, he's a practice squad.
I like Corley for his price a lot more than, say, Elijah Moore.
Yeah.
Definitely would take Corley.
Yeah, exactly. And, obviously, the new drafted guys aren't going to be on this list because they have not signed their contracts yet. It is only May 4th. Happy Star Wars Day to everybody. It is... you're not going to see those on there. Obviously, they're staying. There's nothing about that. SETI, especially looking at it here, you're in the looping of I'd like to see you stay, but with everything else, Isaiah, Denzel Boston, Casey Concepcion, and Jerry Jeudy, you might be gone. You really just might be gone, sadly. And I hate to say that. It's like when we lost Donovan Peoples-Jones back a couple years ago. I mean, I was happy he got to go to the Lions, but then he never did anything there, and now he's not doing anything. Good physical talent can only get you so far, and not to say he's been injured he's been injured like that, but said he, coming off of kind of a back-to-back thing.
Things happen quick in the NFL, man. Some people will become, an all-star this year, and then all of a sudden, next year they're nothing. Vice versa. Yeah. It happens all the time.
So we could very well have seen the last time Cedric Tillman's put on the Browns uniform, but we'll see probably post June 1st. So we're a month away from probably seeing that happen. If not, we'll see how it goes.
Let them get through camps. I'll tell you what, if they go into camp and Boston is out there absolutely cooking Tillman, which kind of just depends really on the production from quarterback, getting the jump balls or whatever they're going to do out there.
Yeah.
I could agree with you. I think that they look at Boston, they go, oh, why the fuck are we paying that guy?
He's younger, bigger, stronger, faster. Daft Punk really wants this guy. Let's get it,
Right.
Outside of that, tight ends, we're in a situation where it's like we got a lot of tight ends, at least that we're paying. We drafted, and there's some guys up here that I really don't think we'll keep around. Like I said, I like Sal Cannella. I think he brings something to the table, but if you get beaten out by these rookies, I don't see you sticking around. I mean, you're 30 at this point. You're on the wrong side of 20. You very well could be. I mean, he was at the optional mini camp. So, like, he's obviously trying to put the work in, trying to get his moment. But outside of that, I don't think so. really, other than that, the money is gonna stay where the money is. I mean, really, there's nothing else you can work on. Dwan Jones taking a little bit of a pay cut, that does kind of help us. I mean, he only took out it's like $1 million came out of his contract. But as much as he wants to be on this team, we'll have to see where he fits. Obviously, with all these new acquisitions, he might play anywhere. I remember I was talking with somebody. They said, "Oh, maybe they move him inside to guard." That man is way too big. That man is way too big to be at the center of that line. No, as much as I want to keep him, that's too much man. That's too much dude.
Wait a minute.
What?
Kendrick Green. When did you guys sign Kendrick Green?
I have no idea. Last year. We got him last year. Interesting.
I cannot believe that.
Hey, look at you guys. He was drafted by you.
Oh, yeah, well, that's kind of why I was curious about that. So he was a center. He was actually Ben's last center after Pouncey retired. And then he sucked because he was small and he got bodied, so they moved him to guard.
and as a guard he shall stay. Yeah, I really I see nothing, and I think it's interesting. The Logan Fano getting picked up as a UDFA. Obviously, we talked about that last week. Congratulations to the guy. Congratulations to the guy. You know, they put him on a little contract. Nothing expensive at all. He's here for a little while if he stays. You got another edge because I also think there is one more cap casualty that could happen, and that's Isaiah McGuire. He's
You think that Fano fills in that spot?
He could. Again, that's we'll see what shakes out after all of these camps and training camps and mini camps and OTAs and everything else under the sun pans out. But in the case of, do we have a younger guy who might be able to do it just the same at least? That's a $3.5 million you can save there that could go to something else. So could the young guy want to play with his brother, stay with the team, and get there? Maybe you can hope so. Outside of that, gotta wait and see. It's a lot of wait and see right now, you know, and that edge area is a little interesting to me. Mostly just the Alex Wright and Isaiah McGuire thing. You know, you already re-signed Alex Wright. I was happy about that. But Isaiah McGuire, sometimes he actually puts up good stats, and other times you don't see the guy. He, not say buried, but he kind of just disappears for a little bit. It's like, oh, Myles Garrett. You know, we're going to hear that a lot. But
every Batman needs a Robin. Exactly.
But that's pretty much all I got for the money side of these things. Money. We have spent a lot of it, and we don't have a lot of reserve, and we are in a very, very weird spot when it comes to, do you want anything else? What if something happens? You've got pennies to spend. But
well, and that's not necessarily, let's say, foreign territory for you guys. You know, this is ever since the Deshaun Watson contract happened, this has kind of been a little bit just kind of weight on your shoulders. But once it clears with this season, and so honestly, the rest of the AFC North might have to keep an eye out, because then the Browns are going to have money to spend.
Yeah, whereas a lot of these other teams are in the point where they're having to spend more money in the next coming years. Like the Ravens have got to spend money on guys like Zay Flowers and maybe Derrick Henry, but I don't see them probably re-signing him. Does Lamar? No, he's already been paid, right?
Lamar, I was gonna say he just got one a couple years back. I was gonna say toss it up on here.
Let's look at.
I want to say Hamilton just got an extension within the
Kyle
last
Hamilton.
year or so.
Obviously, yeah. 2 years. I mean, you got one more year until you're starting negotiations again for Lamar.
And that's when they decide whether
oh
they
yeah,
want to keep Lamar in Baltimore or not, is
yeah.
in 2 years.
Well, and that's also I remember it because that's how like Joe Burrow slipped in and Deshaun got their contracts before Lamar did, which pumped Lamar's numbers up back then. Marlon Humphrey, you know, people want to say he is the best or one of the top 5 cornerbacks in the league. That's next year, bro. Do you want to keep him? He's 30 now. He is coasting to the other side of the of it all.
Mark Andrews is still sitting there collecting money, even though they let Isaiah Likely slide.
There's a lot of cheap crap here, but Chidobe Awuzie is next year. I don't know. Justice Hill, 4th running back. Justice Hill is here, but also like guys like
Flowers in 28.
yeah, and that's that. This is their I think their killer year. 27 actually isn't looking as bad for them other than Marlon. 28 is this whole Lamar, Roquan, Metabike, Ronnie Stanley, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers. Fucking Snoop. Snoop is going to get a contract somewhere. Come on. Somebody will pay him. That dude's a freaking
Miami.
Dude, that dude's a spy. That dude is a fucking spy. But yeah, so 2028 is looking like the year that they're going to get the stick, I think. They're going to get beat with the money stick. Now,
that's all right. Beat them as hard as you want.
With the Bengals, holy, look at this.
Yeah,
look at
this
list.
This is going to be a nightmare.
Oh my God, the amount of people they have coming off of contract. Jordan Battle, you know.
Absolute killer. Wanted Pittsburgh to take him. Liked Jordan Battle.
To Daryl Slayton. I don't know. Chase Brown.
Miles Murphy. Flacco.
I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah, those are so. But a genuine Chris Brown. Chase Brown.
He's 26. He might get another one.
I think he's been productive enough after Joe Mixon and everything. I think he's been that. Samaje Perine, guys.
Ooh,
he shows up for a game.
They're paying him 2. Chase Brown's 26, and they're paying him 3.7.
Yeah.
That's not a good look for Chase Brown's next contract.
Yeah. 28. Here comes some of the BJ Hill. That's a lot of money. Your kicker.
McPherson, you're paying your kicker $5 million, and he's missing extra points. Just want to toss
Shooter. I mean, genuinely, he has been pretty good for them. You can't just give up on a guy for missing a couple kicks, but you're not worth Brendan. You're not worth Brandon Aubrey money.
I couldn't tell you the last time the Wizard of Boz done missed one. Probably this year.
Yeah.
He missed one or two this year, and then before that it was like 18 games or something.
Oh, I know when. Browns game that you lost.
Oh yeah, I guess it did. Was it a point or a field goal?
It was a field goal. It was too long. But it was also rainy and crappy out.
Well, and I was going to say, if you would have told a Steelers fan that Boz missed at home 50+, they would have been like, damn, really?
Oh, but that was he missed it away. And it was like I think it was actually short. I think it was like a 49. I think it was shorter. For Boz. I mean, obviously bro is one of the most
that man in a dome.
Yeah,
he's kicking a 60.
Yeah, he's 31 and he's getting a freaking chunk of change from you guys. I was just looking at it. He's here somewhere.
I want to say he's up at 17.
Yeah, he's getting 4.7. He's getting more money than.
He's getting less. He's getting 2.2 less. That's all right. That's close.
Whatever. I mean, he's getting the same money as a guy much younger than him. But consistency-wise, obviously, yeah, Chris is. He's your guys' Hall of Famer, bro.
At this point, yeah.
So, I don't really have anything else to talk about money. So, Matt, if you want to take the wheel on your segment, you've
So
been
we're moving
really
to
chomping
coaching.
at the bit for.
Oh yes. Okay. So in the last episode or so, and I'm sure I probably mentioned it in the first one, my displeasure for Drew Aller and this reawakening that I've been having towards him. So my rabbit holes that I've been diving down have been mainly for going to actually see what was going on at Penn State while Drew Aller was there. And one of the things that I noticed, I scoured a few Reddit posts, a few articles of just fans, Penn State fans bickering about different stuff because I was curious. And a lot of them seemed to just a lot of them hated James Franklin,
Hmm.
really. Like,
Damn.
and I want to say he was there from like 2014 until last year, the year before, something like that. So he was there for quite some time, and he kind of always just walked that line of being good enough to get them into places, and then he would turn conservative
Hmm.
and he would let games get away from him. I want to say he let Ohio State blow like a 20 or 30 point lead, something like that. They came back and beat him. There was a lot of situations that actually the fans were quoting directly in the post saying like, "Oh yeah, no, the fourth down against Ohio State in the X Bowl, that was the one that made me give up on him." And then another one would come in with a different play that they had seen, and it was like, "Okay, so this is just a common thing with Penn State." Um, his play calling was very, I don't want to say exactly conservative. Just late in the games, he would give up pretty much and let people back into games.
Yeah.
So additionally, I started looking at Penn State's top wide receivers. Let's
Yeah.
see if we can find a list of that over here. Cause I bet. Let me see. What do you think is the last like decent Penn State receiver that's been drafted?
I,
Take a guess.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know any off the top. I genuinely do not know.
I
Um,
believe it was DJ Moore,
okay.
if I'm remembering that correctly. Chris Godwin went. That one was decent. Uh, but like the last few decent receivers that had went there really weren't all that good. Hamilton, I had seen that name pop up a lot. KJ Hamler, he got drafted. He was like a kick return kind of guy, just really fast.
Yeah, I remember KJ
Um,
Hamler.
there's Penn State does not have good receivers. Period. That's what I've come to understand. And then as I continued to dive deeper into this, I started watching a little bit more of Aller's film. And like you had said with the Texas A&M film, where like there was like a third of those throws where it looked like they were just hospital balls, dude's fighting for his life trying to get up there and get it, and he can't.
Yeah.
You know,
Reed did not do Casey Concepcion a lot of justice. 22 I counted in 2025 of bad throws by Reed. Out of 101 targets, 22 were genuinely just bad throws.
not good at math, but that's damn near a quarter.
That is
That's awful.
just shy of a quarter, yes.
So Aller literally kind of had the same tape. There was a lot of him playing backyard football, just running around in the pocket, trying to make a play, doing what he can, and then throwing it over the middle right into a dude's breadbasket, and it would just pop up
Mm.
like straight out of people's hands. It was absolutely criminal how many times I seen a ball drop out of a receiver's hands on this team. Um, so it just and I'm not, quote me here, I am not entirely turning around my view on Drew Aller. I'm only understanding why he has the image that he has
Okay.
because his footwork is awful. His decisions are okay. But god damn it, you give that man a ball and you tell him to put it somewhere 50, 60 yards down the side. He's got a cannon on him and he can throw it probably off platform. Like the comparison that I've been having for him, and I've been waiting to drop this on you,
Yeah, I've been
is
waiting.
Josh Allen.
Oh.
This man
Woo.
physically is a Josh Allen clone.
Really? That's your.
He is 6'5", 235. Josh Allen is 6'5", 237.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, frame wise. Now, do you think he has a good throwing motion?
That's the whole thing. Josh Allen didn't.
No, he did not. I mean, and he worked on that with guys like Peyton Manning, and
He had a lot of work on it. I'm thinking that that's why they decided to take Aller with McCarthy in office, is because McCarthy already went through and did this with Dak years ago in Dallas, and it worked. The stupid video of Dak doing the fucking hip throw shit with the towel during pregame warmups, that was real. That was him fixing and changing his footwork and his dynamics of his throws.
Okay.
And that worked. So if they can figure out a way to, regardless of whether who starts this next year or not, if they can figure out a way to have Drew Aller fix his footwork and his throw mechanics and just rely on his physicality, in arm stance, like having that cannon up there, we genuinely might have just drafted the next Josh Allen in the third. But if they don't, it's a guy that they drafted that is going to be a big freak that can't hit anything. So we're really going to have to see how that progression and how he's able to coach them and teach them up to see if they can do that. But it took Josh Allen literally 3 years before he was like the guy.
Yeah.
The first 2 he was good, but there was a lot of downsides, there was a lot of mistakes, there was a lot of bad stuff that happened.
Yeah.
So I think I've come to the belief that I don't know if I really want Rodgers back. I think that I'm just ready to bite down and let these guys work. The first year of Mike McCarthy being here, first year of a new rookie quarterback, first year of a lot of new stuff, I think it would be okay, even if they did have a losing season this year. Just let the kids play and see what they got.
Yeah, I respect that outlook on everything. Again, not a Drew Aller fan, so it's let the kids go out there and do their thing.
I would love it if he proved me wrong. Believe me.
I would agree with that. I would like to see him show up. I would also like to see him throw 3 interceptions against the Browns. But we'll have to just see.
Right.
You
Right.
keep bringing up Mike McCarthy here. I know that was something we wanted to talk about a good bit, was what changes he is going to bring to your guys' team.
So, with the comparison of what Arthur Smith was running last year with more, I don't want to say just necessarily tight ends, but there was a lot more power runs. There was a lot of interior stuff. Jonnu Smith running the ball in my nightmares. There was a lot of that. And I've been kind of curiosity deep diving a lot of these different offenses just to see the differences of them. And Arthur Smith is very, it's what we knew before he even signed with us. It's very simple. There's nothing to it. If you get caught by it, you probably played rough defense and let yourself get open. So Mike McCarthy's, it's going out of the West Coast, Walsh Tree. It's a lot more based. So, and this was something that I found very interesting, because in my offenses, normally when I decide to run them, I'm more of a power run first, get you to bite down, and then we try and catch you in the back.
Yeah.
Base Pittsburgh style from back in the day. Jerome Bettis, run a power, the guard's going to take your linebacker's head off. It is what it is. But Mike McCarthy's is sort of the same but different, which the more that I look into this, I see the mirrors of both Mike Tomlin and Mike McCarthy. Mike Tomlin is just the defensive version of Mike McCarthy. This West Coast offense that he runs, that he has turned into the Tex Coast over there in Dallas, they're going to have to try and figure out a new name for the Pittsburgh editions. But it seems to prioritize starting with a lot of, like, kind of not spread necessarily, but open formations that get the receivers out wide, and then there's a lot of motion bringing them back into the backfield. There was a lot of different film that I seen from the Packers back when he was with Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers, with both running backs coming out of the backfield. One would be kind of set up in a wing set, whereas the other one would just be right behind the quarterback in a single back. And they might motion out to the slot. They might run a counter entirely and run the opposite way. There was a lot of different motion that they would run. So really it's going to be a very similar offense to what we had this last year, with a lot of stuff going on in the backfield and motions as well. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed hoping, we're going to pass the ball down the field a lot more, because Arthur Smith and Mike Tomlin, I'm going to blame this on Mike Tomlin, for the last 8 years, has been terrified of using the middle of the field. They just don't throw there. Tomlin said that it is the offense's job and his job to try and limit turnovers and dangerous things that happen with the ball. And that happens a lot when you throw over the middle.
I mean, yeah, but last year you had Aaron Rodgers, who has led the NFL in lowest turnover percentage of any quarterback ever. Who's played that amount of time.
That's why I had said later on in the season, if you remember, why isn't he letting loose? They need to let this dude go out there and play ball.
Yeah, I get it. He's 43 years old. He's not going to throw another Hail Mary like he did before. But let him play ball. And I do think he was able to, call his audibles and stuff to assist himself. He sees something he likes or sees something that he can play off of. But definitely, if your all play calling restricts 70% of the field, how are you going to win games?
Literally, you're playing with probably less than half the field at that point, just from measurement wise. But that's kind of something that I thought was interesting about the Aaron Rodgers with Mike McCarthy film that I had watched, was that they said, or actually Mike McCarthy had said it. He said that Aaron likes not having motion on the field a lot. He likes it to be a lot more static, so that way he can kind of see what's going on, and when people are moving, it's not giving away what the offense is doing, because that's how he looked at it, compared to the opposite, where having a wide receiver come in motion and then seeing the corner follow him immediately tells that second-year quarterback, oh shit, that guy's in man. Okay, cool.
Yeah. You can start to see what cover is being run, what scheme is being run.
Right. It gives you a lot more hints with it for the younger guys, but Aaron didn't like that. So I think that's another thing that could be a wrinkle that goes into this offense, depending on who the quarterback ends up being. Whether Aaron comes back, it might be a little bit more stagnant, or just, line up and we do what we're going to do. Whereas if maybe Will Howard starts over Aller, earns that or whatever, they're probably going to end up running a lot more motion. So
I love good motion. Motion is pre-snap motion is one of my favorite things.
It's definitely, I don't know, it's a wrinkle.
Yeah.
Once you start adding in the different shit for them to worry about, it makes problems. When the defense has problems, the offense literally can pick daisies.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
That's it's a huge part of offense is disguising. Some people think if you run too much, you just give away anytime you're like, oh, this guy has gone in motion. I've seen this before. It's on the film. He's going to do this. I think that's something Kevin did too much. of
Just trying to put something on film.
not even that, just doing the same thing over and over again. Like I love Quinshon Judkins, and I love him getting a touchdown, especially when he's on my fantasy team. But Wildcat every time, there's a point where it stops working. There's a point where it does stop working. Whereas like Kareem Hunt lines up the backfield, somebody scooches over at the last second. Suddenly Kareem Hunt is in Wildcat. Oh my God, it's a touchdown. Where it's like you lined up for this 3 times. Exact same thing. You should know what's happening. And if it happens and the defense doesn't stop it and they score, shame on that defense. You didn't see this thing that they have done multiple times, like weeks apart. 3 weeks in a row.
Goes. When it's week 13, week 14, and you're running an offense that everybody's been watching the whole year, and then you pull out 3 plays, and those 3 plays are the ones that win you the game because they're the big splash plays. All right, cool, that can work, but you have to, maybe win, 9 or 10 out of those 13 games before you get there.
Yeah, and that's been hard to do.
Yeah. The only thing that I have more to add about the offense is that the coordinator that we brought in from Minnesota, he did a lot of stuff with Kevin O'Connell, with the Justin Jefferson kind of being in the backfield, lining up with maybe Aaron Jones or something like that, and then all of a sudden he motions out, and Aaron Jones is a slot receiver now all of a sudden, and then they snap the ball, and everyone shits their pants because they don't know what to do. That is the guy that they ended up bringing in, and additionally having that added in with Mike McCarthy's offense, knowing all that stuff's going to be in the backfield, and just there's going to be a lot of power runs, just of both the running backs that we have. They're pretty much going to be used as power rushers, I'm assuming. He's probably going to end up letting Caleb Johnson get a little bit of touches. Hopefully he comes out in camp and they can use him as like a 2-back.
Yeah.
But Heidenreich is the other one that
he's going to be everywhere.
Purely a gadget guy.
Yeah.
He might be in the back. He might be a receiver. He might be a quarterback. He might take a quarterback snap. They did triple option in Navy, so it's not like he is alien to that. There's all types of shit they could do. They could do a flea flicker if they want. Woo. Mike McCarthy's a crafty fucker.
Bananas, man. I love it. That's
I'm excited. I think it's going to be interesting.
I'm really excited about what the Browns are prepping. I've gone through a lot of film and interviews and yearly breakdowns of who went where and for how long with our new coordinators and staff that are joining my Cleveland Browns. And the big one, obviously, Todd Monken at head coach. I think he brings something to the table that I really enjoy is, he's going to be the play caller. I don't like this, we still don't know, guys. We're going to juggle in the air because we don't want to tell anybody. Nah, Todd Monken, he is the play caller going in. Something that Monk really likes is he loves shifts and motions. He did it a lot. He did it a lot in Georgia. And something he did is he ran a lot of 12 personnel, and he ran a lot of 21 personnel. Now, something I did really enjoy in his time in Georgia is that he got to use your big man. Your Darnell Washington was under his tutelage. Now, he was a little blessed by also having guys like Brock Bowers on that team.
Brock Bowers helps, but he's a different kind.
He's a different kind of
lightning.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And thunder is the key word when it comes to guys like Darnell Washington of using these big men in shifty positions to get there. So overall, I like his use of motion. The other thing I like is our new offensive coordinator. His name is Travis Switzer. Not Schweitzer, but Switzer. Okay. The big thing is he's a UAC guy. 10 minutes from my house, University of Akron.
Really?
Yep. He went there, and then when he came out and became a coach of any kind, he spent his entire coaching career for 9 of these last years in Baltimore with the Ravens. And
What did you say his name was?
Travis Switzer. There it is. So, yeah. So he is I enjoy his philosophy on at least his view of a good offense. Like I said, so he started. I mean, he got put into any form of staffing in 2017. He joins the Ravens as just a staff assistant, and then moves on to being a OC analyst, and then quality control coach, and then run game coordinator. Specifically, last 2 years as the run game coordinator
The run game coordinator for Mr. King Henry.
for the big
Absolutely
man.
dog walk and everything.
And then now he has become the OC for Cleveland. Now, the thing there is obviously you see he never was like the OC there, but he was underneath his OC is now our coach. So it's kind of just a step up from that relationship. The thing I really like is he heavily loves to emphasize the run. Heavy run on offense. And in a team that we ranked 27th in rushing because of our dog water offensive line, I think this is a great step in the right direction. Using his mind and using Monken's mind. Obviously, Monken wants to pass the ball efficiently. That's the thing they've said a lot. Efficient ball placement and passing. I could see them obviously having a great two-sided, a true offense, not this just one-sided offense.
Right.
The thing I also like about Switzer is that he likes to mold his offense to his players. So he wants his offense to highlight his players rather than having a rigid offense. I want this. We are running this. I don't care who you are or where you like to line up. We are running this. No. He wants to play to his players' best properties. And, I mean, he has been with Todd Monken for a while now. He has a very good relationship with Monk, and I'm excited for that. I'm excited for this heavy run play, which I feel like Kevin Stefanski would always go away from the run. The run didn't. Man, that last drive, we only got 2 yards of run. We're done running the ball, I guess, for two quarters, and then the final quarter we're gonna try to run the ball to get there.
Start it back up.
We're gonna start it back up. No, we're not giving up on the run in this one. We're going to push, and with the 3 running backs we have, currently, I think that is more than achievable with obviously Quinshon and Raheem Rocket being the hard push, first down backs, and Dylan Sampson being he can run the ball, but he can also be a great slot receiver or screen, type thing. I think just like you guys using this heavy motion, moving somebody around, setting somebody in the backfield, you really don't know what's going to happen. And with guys like our amazing young tight end and Harold Fannin, they should be able to build an offense that is truly a wild card.
I think that Fannin's going to be a real weapon in his hands, just from honestly reading this and seeing the way that he worked with Andrews and all that kind of different stuff.
Yeah, and the fact is
that whole room was monsters that year.
Yeah, and the fact of the year he was with Mark Andrews, working in that area, Mark Andrews was the guy, and somehow they were able to get him to work in that offense, even after coming off of the injuries and not being the best Mark Andrews that we knew. He was still decent last year, decent.
Well, and Actually, as a matter of fact, just talking about that the tight end room there in Baltimore, Charlie Kolar that I believe went to the Chargers, I think is where he went and got a contract. He's another one of those guys where like he was the third tight end in this room and he's getting paid over 10 right
Ooh.
now. And it's like that's the way that the tight end market is right now. So it's you got to be careful with these big boys.
You can
But
thank guys like George for that one. I love George Kittle, but he really pushing the bill for these tight ends to get some wicked contracts, I think.
yeah, I'm gonna get paid 18 million a year, but I'm only gonna play 10
7 games.
games.
I'm gonna go stand next to this deer. Deer. You got to make sure you emphasize that right, because it might sound wrong.
Deal, dear.
At least it wasn't deal dough, because that would have
Yeah, I don't
fallen
think they would have
apart.
liked that.
That would have fallen apart real fast, real fast. So much for gender inclusion in these Little Caesars ads.
Little Caesars, right?
They said it was hot. It was ready. I never said it was good.
So I do like that this guy he played center here at the with the Zips, and then he eventually ends up going in and just kind of working through the rest of the offense.
Yeah.
Normally, the offensive linemen that end up going through and working in more into the coordinators and stuff like that, those are like those are the minds that come through
Well,
because normally it's more quarterbacks or somebody that didn't have anything at all.
in his interviews he's had, he even outright said before he got in there, he really didn't know a lot about ball, and he was able to learn so much more by doing these, being a staffer here, an administrator here, a coach here, a coordinator here,
Well,
like.
because being a center, you essentially have to be a quarterback and a lineman at the same time. You
Yeah.
have to, you're the one that's going to be not only keeping the snap timed right and everything. If something goes wrong, okay, cool, that's your fault.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to change the protection, look for all that stuff. You really have to be smart to be a center. You have to know a lot about the game.
I wonder if
Um,
he was a huge part or a big enough part about them drafting Voorhees, because I personally, I was sad that the Browns couldn't get him. I mean, we got sniped by the Ravens. It was the pick before. We let them have that pick, and they picked Voorhees ahead of us in that draft. And so I wonder if he was
that
part of
toughness
that.
he showed was crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
because
I could see that.
I could see him. That was a pick possibly made by him, or at least influenced by him.
I also have to point it out. We
He
got a
is a
homeboy that's native to PA because all the hard-nosed football boys come from Ohio or PA, I guess.
literally that border. I mean, literally that stretch of northeast Ohio to northeast, or I can't do my directions there. Northwest Pennsylvania. What a weird spot to be football land. Um,
They ain't got much else to do except for play ball.
hey, yeah, you're pretty much right there. So obviously, offensively, I think we have made a great step forward in changing for the better. Now, defensively, this is where it gets a little more interesting, in my opinion. Our new defensive coordinator is a guy by the name of Mike Rutenberg. And Mike has never been a coordinator. He
Okay.
is he specifically is a BERG. He is much more of a defensive backs guy. And
Yeah.
he comes from a line of coaching that, in my opinion, is kind of interesting. In which his big tree is he is a Robert Saleh guy, which I'm a big Robert Saleh fan when it comes to being a DC. Obviously, he does, I feel like, get kind of the short end of the stick with the Jets, being
He looks like a
the
Robert Saleh guy.
yeah. He and you can see I'm gonna go over this whole biography thing here, but he starts his football journey working for as a personnel intern for Joe Gibbs. I mean, that's kind of cool.
Okay.
Um, and then he moves on. He goes and does some stuff at uh, a couple colleges, and then he goes and he becomes a 49ers passing game specialist um, under Sala and under. I mean, I like the 49ers obviously for coaching tree stuff. And he goes with them with Sala to the Jets. And when he goes to the Jets, he ends up being there when they drafted Quincy and got C.J. Mosley.
Sauce.
And
Did they have Sauce there, or was that after?
that was after Sauce is drafted the next year. But and he leaves after that. So or no, he spends 4 years with the Jets, but they really don't highlight the Sauce side of this. I guess he spent a lot of his time as like the linebackers coach.
Yeah.
So he helps get guys like Quincy and C.J. Mosley to being all pro, and he gets the Jets defense into a position to be top 5 to top 10 in pretty much any defensive metric that they could have been in, especially in that linebacker defensive backfield. 5th in tackles, 9th in defensive scoring, 8th in sacks. And then after that, he moves on and he becomes the Atlanta Falcons defensive pass game coordinator, which I really enjoyed because he then turns around and makes the Atlanta Falcons lead the league in sacks.
After they had absolutely no pass rush before.
Yeah,
too,
they went from
so.
0 to 100. And he really helped turn them around. Obviously, the players do the work, but coordination-wise is a big thing. And so it's interesting to see that he has only been like, he's never been the guy, but he's had a lot of jobs in that respect of moving around a lot. And you can
Seems
see
like everything that he's touched, he's at least shown, improvement to it for the most part.
yeah, and he really focuses on those DBs and linebackers. And the thing that I really enjoy is that he said he is not changing the defensive scheme. He is going to continue to have this heavy pass rush front attack that the Browns are known for under Coach Schwartz. And I think he'll be able to add what you call a wrinkle. He's going to add his wrinkle into this heavy influence on his DBs to help get guys like Carson Schwarzenegger to be even more, and this new the new linebacker that we picked up to be more of a blitzing kind of guy.
Oh, well, he gets to reunite with Quincy.
Yeah, he gets to reunite with Quincy. He gets to help this imposter Justin Jefferson to become something more. Obviously, pump up our boy Carson, and maybe add some more to one of the best steals in the draft in Emmanuel McNeil Warren. So that's something I'm pretty excited about. That I think it's I'm gonna stifle my expectations. Obviously, Coach Schwartz was the guy, and it's sad to see that whole situation turn out the way it did. But I'm excited to see something add to our defensive backs, where I feel like that is where our team's struggles had been. Obviously, our front 5 are demolishers.
Your bread and butter, really.
They're bread and butter.
A couple of years ago, you couldn't really say that, but then they invested the time into it.
Yeah, exactly. And I wanted to make this note here. Bleacher Report post-draft released a rankings of every defense in the NFL. And they ranked the Browns at 9th in defense. And in my opinion, I think the only reason they did that was because of the loss of Coach Schwartz. Because you only added to your defense. Yeah, Devin Bush leaves. But
Devin Bush leaves, but you get Quincy Williams, who's a physical clone of him, and he already worked with him.
You got Quincy Williams. You drafted another young, smaller linebacker. You have defensive rookie of the year, defensive player of the year, and really, I mean, the only thing you could have maybe added on to was cornerback, which I still think they probably should have, but whatever. We got the best safety you could have gotten other than Caleb Downs, you know?
Pretty much, yeah.
Uh,
And you
so,
got him on a slide too.
yeah.
You got him at a bargain price.
And I think that's something Andrew Berry has always shined on is those weird two picks. I mean, as much as the guy didn't pan out, Greedy Williams. I love Greedy Williams. I was so sad that injuries kept him from being the guy that he wanted to be. But
Definitely recorded a number of stats for the Browns. It's not, he was a member of that team.
yeah, and so I'm confident in our second round pick ability, and so overall I think Bleacher Report kind of gave us the short end of the stick on the rankings there. I can understand maybe a hair of a slide, but that defense practically didn't change. If not, it got a little better. If you're worried about coordinators doing coordinator things, and you're going to drop us from, in my opinion, top 3 defenses.
That's where I figured you were going to say. I figured you were going to say 3, and I was like, okay, I can manage that.
Yeah, 3.
9,
Yeah, what, number 1 and 2 being, Jesus, I mean... Seahawks obviously being number 1. That is the scariest defense out there. And number 2 being maybe Denver. Texans, especially now with this more. I mean, I'll pull up the Bleacher Report here. Yeah, after the 2026 draft, I'm just gonna scroll to like the top 10 here because obviously
of course they give you 32 first. They
oh
want you
yeah,
to read the whole.
Then when you read the whole article, so at 12 they have you guys ranked. Obviously, they had you last year at 26th. And you guys are coming up, but 10 you have Jacksonville. Yeah, Jacksonville, especially offensively, is incredibly on the rise. I think they do have a lot of key pieces. Their additions they've made this offseason, we could see how they go. Obviously, this Travis Hunter debate, I'm glad this is not on my team. I'm glad this is on another team.
I'm glad he finally decided what he wanted to do.
And apparently he's still like, it's all under, hogwash. We'll see. Browns at 9, I still think is a travesty. Yes, Minnesota does have a good defense. They have Minnesota at 8, but I feel like that defense
higher than 8.
I think that they should be higher than that, but I also think the Browns should be higher than that. Then we have the Chargers, which
that's fair. They got a lot of young guys out there.
Yeah, that's where they were 5th in total defense and 8th against the run. They do have some really nice key pieces. And it's funny, we talked about them like 3 years ago. Their defenses was riddled with holes.
It was Derwin James and then.
And Khalil Mack.
I like how the picture for the Patriots is our boy Spillane here.
Robert Spillane. I know he's one of your favorite guys. They have New England at 6, which, yeah, their defense did get them there. Obviously, Robert Spillane, great. Christian Gonzalez, love a young, healthy Christian Gonzalez. And they drafted some decent rookies in the second round.
Carlton Davis right here.
Yeah.
I'd bet you money he gets hurt this year and they have an issue where they don't have a number 2.
Yeah?
I would bet money on that. Because I feel like that's how their defense is going to end up faring. They're going to try and lean on it a little bit too much, and it's going to crumble this year.
And I feel like their offense wasn't able to produce late in the season. I mean, they were having those games where Travion Henderson would go off, and then I think people figured out Travion pretty fast, and it just didn't
They
go
relied on
anywhere.
tricks a little bit too much, I think, and
And
when they didn't work, they kind
I,
of just got smashed.
and I feel like they are in the same problem that Green Bay is in. Of you have a room of twos, especially outside of Stephon Diggs, who might be going to prison. Um, you have a room of twos. So there's a part of me that that team might slide backwards a little bit. They got Philly at 5. Yeah, I get it. They're
You know
crazy.
my feelings on Philly.
Yeah, we fuck the other birds. Fuck the birds. Fuck the other side of Pennsylvania. Yeah, you got Jonathan Grenard, which
Really
I mean
don't
I
like
think it's
this.
yeah yeah
Seeing Tyreek go to the Eagles is just it's too much over there. You got Mitchell, you got DeJean, and now you got this. Like
yeah.
it's come on.
That's a lot of cornerbacks, and then obviously you added more to your front with Jonathan Grenard, Jalen Carter. Uh, I'm still not 100% settled on him. He just has issues, you know.
I mean, he's a physical beast, but I like Jordan Davis a little bit better. It's just the
I agree.
fact that Davis is so big, you can't play him the whole
Well,
game.
and also, I mean, Jalen Carter just has he has some behavioral issues.
Yeah,
You
well,
know,
they knew that. That's why he slid, and they took him anyway. How they don't
exactly.
give a damn?
At 4, they have Seattle.
That's a crime.
That's a crime. Your
That is a
Super
crime.
Bowl came from this defense. I think
The,
that
the
is a crime.
only way that this makes sense is if number one is the Texans.
You got the Rams at
That
3,
that's literally it.
and
I mean, this is fair. They traded for McDuffie, so
yep, they traded their first round again, which they love to do. Trent McDuffie should add a lot to that defensive backfield. We'll see.
I really like their defensive line. Their
Oh
defensive
yeah,
line is going to be terrifying in like another year or two.
yeah. Their edge rushers and their front men are just very scary. I mean, Jared Verse. Wow. Byron Young, too. I mean, both of
Versus
them.
nasty. Young was a steal where they
So,
got him.
by the way, I did not read this list. I only saw the Browns were at 9, and I was like, okay, whatever. I can't believe I got that Denver was at 2 when I said that.
It's fair.
I really do think, I mean, again, they have this really freakish set of cornerbacks and linebackers. And again, you have this team that offensively can't produce until the fourth quarter, but they've held the other team back to 1 score that entire time as well. So Bo Nix can, like, now that he's finally warmed up, he can go and blow them away.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a scary team for them. For anybody. They have very crazy edge rushers and guys like Nick Batonia or Bonito, sorry.
Nick Bonito and Zach Allen are definitely freaks down there.
Yeah,
Hooper, he's still young, so he's got some seasoning to go, but I guarantee you he'll still get better.
and there's a point that I thought Nick Bonito might have been the guy to get all the sacks last year. I thought he might have been able to pass Myles Garrett and get there, and then they kind of slid off. They do have the Texans at 1, obviously. More adding, they signed Azeez Al-Shaair to another contract, which I think, I don't remember the date this was given, but when we literally said it was going to happen 3 weeks ago that he was the next guy to get the money, and now they do. I cannot believe this, what I'm reading. With second round pick Caden McDonald joining youngster Tommy Togiai.
Yeah.
Tommy Togiai, former Cleveland Brown, who kind of would showed up,
Sheldon
and
Rankins.
Sheldon Rankins. You know, I've said it since I became since I started analyzing football in 2018. For some reason, when people leave the Browns, they just go to the Texans. Running backs: Duke Johnson, Nick Chubb, Tommy Togiai, Sheldon Rankins. There's a handful of other guys that I'm completely missing out on right now, but I could probably say in the last 6 to 8 years, 10 to 20 former Browns have gone to the Texans directly afterwards.
Well, and honestly, like we were saying, this defense from top to bottom is absolute killers. I mean, Petrie and Stingley,
Yeah.
Lassiter, they're adding with this giant defensive tackle here to
Who
try and
I know
stuff
you
the run.
were very interested in him in our talks of drafting. So
Ohio State boy
that's a huge thing. But so yes, top two for sure. Rams at three.
potential, but
I could
like
give him that,
there's not a
but
whole lot of proven stuff.
again,
That's a young future.
is that Rams defense solely their defense better than the Browns defense? Yes, your edge rushers are crazy. Yes, you added Trent McDuffie. But do those guys outweigh Denzel, Tyson Campbell, Grant Delpit, Emmanuel McNeil Warren, Miles fucking Garrett? Like,
For me, the difference is the front seven because Nate Landman and honestly, back when they had Troy Reader, like when they went to the Super Bowl and they had Troy Reader, who was literally just an absolute liability at linebacker, and they just rode out the season with him. Like they kind of just don't. I don't know if I would say they don't give a shit about linebacker in the middle, but they're serviceable. You know,
yeah.
it is what it is. I would, me being a Steelers fan, I would gladly take Carson Schlesinger and anybody else on your linebacker crew over Nate Landman.
Obviously, I think Seattle's being at four. I think Seattle should be over the Rams at least.
I could agree with that.
Denver again. I think there is a case maybe Denver has, especially again Woolen leaving. Seattle. I think that is a harm to them. I mean, he was like the best in the backfield there. But you do have guys like Devin Witherspoon, who I really do enjoy. Kobe Bryant and Nick Emanwari. Guys like that who, I mean, obviously I bring up Kobe Bryant, but he is left. So like
This that Bud Clark fella is actually somebody that I had watched a little bit of. I liked the way that he played a lot. So
yeah, so it's like I just don't see them sliding like that.
mhm.
But I think the Browns have a better defense than the Vikings, the Chargers, and in my opinion, probably the Patriots. Um,
I think they've
so,
definitely got a better defense than the Patriots and the Chargers.
but the Vikings thing I come up against is it's again it's this versus it's your front guys versus your defensive backers, and it's like, what do you have that Trump? Like, yeah, the middle of your defensive line is probably a little better than ours, but
Hmm.
I think we are still waiting on that Malik Collins. Does he get healthier? Do you bring him back? But new edge rushers plus our current edge rushers, I think our defensive backfield is a little bit better.
To me, I think that the difference between that goes from Jimmys and Joes to X's and O's. I
Yeah,
think that the coaching and the like it says here at the bottom, no team blitzed at a higher clip last year than Minnesota. I think
yeah,
that Minnesota gets a lot of their heat off of just throwing it at you,
pressure.
throwing it at you,
And, and,
throwing
and
it at you,
pressure is
throwing
huge.
it at you.
And I mean, I thought that they had a chance to have a defensive player of the year in the first 5 weeks when they were just interceptions after interceptions and fumbles. I mean, they had a guy who set
Hmm.
a stat for nobody's ever had multiple fumble recoveries and interceptions in the same game like he did.
You know, they were
But
definitely going crazy with that stuff. But just to me, I think that if you're gonna sit up and run a base defense, like okay, cool, we're gonna play this game. I think I'd rather have the Browns over that. But it all depends. Every week you play somebody's a different game.
and who did they have ranked at the bottom? I didn't even read. Oh yes, it's Miami
Miami.
Dolphins, who sold their team off. Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb gone.
Chop Robinson is the team's top edge rusher. R.I.P.
Woof.
I like Chop Robinson, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I like their draft. They have a lot of holes to fill and not a lot of proven stuff to fill them with.
And the Commanders at 30. I think about, let's go back 5 years. The Commanders were set to have a top 5 defense. Not even 5 years ago, you know.
And I
Chase
love the
Young,
Commanders D line when they had Deron Payne and
Deron Payne, Chase
all
Young,
them beasts down there on the
Montez
line.
Sweat.
Ugh. Ugh.
And they sold the entire defense away. Sold
Classic.
it. Fire sale. Boom, you're gone. The Jets at 28. Yeah, again, sold their fucking team away.
And you know what they got? They drafted a 5'9" corner
And still
to
20
fill that hole.
Tennessee Titans are at 27. Somehow they had an incredibly stingy defense, but it is a defense of nobodies. We talked about it before last season. It is a defense of no one. And now
Ghosts.
Robert Saleh gets another chance at being a head coach. Hopefully he does better than Young
Shall we
Buck.
break down this paragraph alone?
The Titans spent big in free agency on both sides of the ball. They added defensive tackle John Franklin Myers and
All right, that's
cornerbacks
fine.
Alontae Taylor and Cordell Flott in
Who?
free agency. I have no idea who either of those guys are. And
Lott
then
came from the Giants, but would you willingly sign a cornerback from the Giants from the last few years? I know I fucking wouldn't.
they traded with the Jets to get Jermaine Johnson. Again, the Jets fire sailing their team away this year. They
So yeah, this is their free agency that they did. This was their big upgrades. Yeah, get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
Tennessee's
yeah,
gonna be
they-
32.
they get Keldrick Folk, which I mean, I liked him. And they got Anthony Hill Jr. Fine pickups. Can that help your defense of literal nobodies? I don't think so.
I like Hill, but I don't think Keldrick Fault is gonna be. He could be an immediate impact.
He's not
I
Bane.
don't think he's going to be.
He's not Bane.
But
You know?
it's just in the way that it fits their defense. Like, you kind of have to rely on him to just be a toolsy guy and get past blocks, and it's like he is just a big athlete. He hasn't done that in the NFL yet. So
The last one I will showcase here is 26th, the Dallas Cowboys. A team that touted themselves so highly on guys like Trayvon Diggs and oh god, who's the other defensive back they have?
the one that got all the picks.
Yeah, the interception merchant.
Yes,
Who? What?
Deron Bland.
Ah,
Sorry.
Jerron Bland. You were correct. Yes.
So, it came to me eventually.
They touted and touted and touted, and then they ended up being like the worst defensive backfield in the entire NFL. Yes, you drafted Caleb Downs, and you got Caleb Downs somehow. Good for you. Great, great player. One guy is not going to fix that problem.
I don't think that the Malachi Lawrence pick is going to end up being that much of an impact on them.
Yeah, and we gave away our number 1 edge rusher, number 2 edge rusher in the league for Rashawn Gary. I don't hate Rashawn Gary, but you downgraded. And it's this whole potential for this. It's like we traded away young talent for the potential for a young talent. You had a guy, and Jerry Jones didn't want to pay him because he's an old bastard.
Nah, well, you said it. You said it right there. Such as Jerry Jones.
Oh, potential. I like making headlines. I'm going to trade away the number 2 edge rusher in the league for potential. So we'll have to see, but I do not see them getting higher. I would see.
We
them
pray
staying
on the
lower.
Cowboys' downfall anytime possible.
Any day. My dad had to stay in Dallas during the draft, so yeah, we pray on those boys continuing their drought. Let's hope that somebody else next year will trade for Dak Prescott. The Bengals. Trade quarterbacks. Do what Los Angeles and Detroit did. Let's trade quarterbacks. See what happens. I think I'd rather see Joe Burrow down in Dallas.
Honestly, you might like it down there. They protect their quarterback a lot. I mean, I guess other than when Dak broke his leg and then the entire offensive line walked away from him.
Well, yeah. And, they did lose, future Hall of Famer Zach Martin last year, which, I mean, that was incredibly sad.
Dallas is rebuilding that line out there. They'll be all right.
But,
they got to give him time.
Dude was insane. Didn't he allow less sacks than he had false starts?
Zach Martin?
Yeah.
I believe that was Quentin Nelson, but Zach Martin's. I mean, he'll be a gold jacket guy for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he deserves it probably more than anybody else does in that.
Damn near an all-decade team type of guy. So.
Oh yeah, that's what a good career he had, but it's sad to see him go because obviously, fuck the Cowboys. But
sure.
You hate to see a good guy say, hey, you know what? I mean, you do love to see a guy say, hey, it's my time. I'm going to choose to walk away rather than letting like an injury hurt him and get him out of take him out of the game. But it still sucks to see a guy say, you know what? You don't get to see me play on Sundays anymore.
It's time.
It's time. That hurts. And I mean, same thing like I meant to bring it up earlier. Joel Bitonio, not on the team. He hasn't signed anything. He has the chance he could sign with somewhere else or come back, but 13 years, man. It might be time to say, hey, I'm done. You had
13 years on a line. That's tough. That's tough life.
And I mean, you got to see Browns playoff games. You got to be there, brother. Good for you, but I would rather see Joel hang it up than see him go somewhere else.
I could understand that.
Yeah, that's my side of it. Do you have anything else to add?
I really got nothing else. Next week, I'm gonna try and dig a little bit more into Will Howard and kind of do my comparisons into Howard and Aller here. That'll be my next goal, but we'll have to see what happens. We don't know.
Sneak peek into next episode. It is going to be about young quarterbacks. Insider trading.
Oh yeah, we can't escape quarterbacks over
no,
here.
I try to escape that question when it comes to anything like that for either of our teams at the moment. But I think next week is the time we will go through and we will talk about who we are looking at. Who are these young bucks?
1 week closer to camp. After that, we're gonna start getting a little bit more to sink our teeth into. We're gonna be able to start chewing up some stuff. So.
Yep. Well, I think that'll call it for us. Thanks for tuning into Opposing Sides. Like I've said, I'm Sam, and that's Matt. And I hope you guys enjoyed.
Everybody have a good night.